We'll just ask those in the hall to begin taking their seats. Thank you, Mr. Prasad. So welcome to our assembly this morning. Even though we are remote, we do so in the interest of safety to avoid extraordinary opportunities in which we gather. Nonetheless, welcome to our assembly, which will focus on our Catholic and communal identity, with items including the launch of our Delaney Reach Out, the World Youth Day and Walkathon. Today, Stuart and Jonah will MC our assembly, and Ethan and Joseph will lead us in prayer following the acknowledgement of country. This morning, when we acknowledge country, we do so in light of NAIDOC Week, which we celebrated last fortnight. NAIDOC Week aims to celebrate and recognise the history, culture and achievements of the Aboriginal people, whose culture and history are among the oldest continuous living cultures on Earth.
We are honoured to be gathered to acknowledge country, dance on country, sing on country, visit country. We speak to country, care for country, love for country. We pay our respects to elders, past and present, and thank them for passing on their knowledge, our language and spiritual connection to country. Country is lived on and lived with. Country gives and receives life.
And of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Today's prayer is centered on the reading of the day that reminds us of the true value of the kingdom of God. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. And Jesus said to the crowds, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which someone has found. He hides it again, goes off happy, sells everything he owns, and buys the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he finds one of great value, he goes and sells everything he owns and buys it. What do you treasure above all else, and how do you keep it secure?" In a present community, the best safe was often the earth. The man in the parable went in his joy to sell everything he had. Why? Because he found a hidden treasure worth possessing above everything else he had. He did not, however, have enough to buy the treasure. Fortunately, he only needed enough money to buy the field. In a similar fashion, God offers his kingdom as incomparable treasure at a price we can afford. We can't pay the full price for the rich and abundant life which God offers us, but when we willingly exchange our life for the life which God offers, we receive a treasure beyond compare.
Lord Jesus, reveal to me the true riches of your kingdom. Help me to set my heart on you alone as a treasure beyond compare with any other. Free my heart of any inordinate desires or attachment to other things that I may freely give to you, or that I have in joy and gratitude for all that you have given to me. May I always find joy and delight in your presence. Amen. Saint Patrick, Saint Mary of the Cross, my killer, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I'd now just like to call Mr. Wade to give his principal's address.
Thank you so much, Stuart. There was a thunderous applause in the hall then from about 40 boys that are present. gentlemen, not the way we wanted to start our first college assembly for term 3, but nonetheless I hope you're giving good attention, and it's a wonderful assembly today. Can I welcome Brother Peter? Brother Peter Ryan is our congregational leader who's with us today, and Angelo Verzi, old boy of the college, a young old boy, but very welcome today. I just wanted to make just a couple of comments. We have got several launches today, if you like, and things that are dear to my heart. World Youth Day, and that is why Angelo is here, and also Deacon Ben, who travelled to Poland in, I think, 2016. And they get to speak to you today about that, and there's another opportunity for boys to travel for World Youth Day. And we really hope that those invitations, if you like, those gentle invitations are heard. Because in life, boys, there are invitations and then there are choices. I know Deacon Ben has made a very big choice. So on 6th of August, Deacon Ben will no longer be Deacon Ben. He will be Father Ben Saliba, and many of our community will be there at St Mary's Cathedral to celebrate that great occasion. But Deacon, that's a choice, isn't it? So you make a choice and there is a calling. So boys, we have choices and callings this term. We launch Delaney Reach Out, dear to my heart as a director of the foundation. This is where we raise considerable funds to help people in Kenya, Ghana, Papua New Guinea and here in Australia. And the work that we do, boys, and across our 5 Patrician schools makes a difference. So you'll be called on to be generous, and I hope you hear that invitation. We have, I know, debating teams are still in semi-finals, and I wish them all the best. Also on Friday night we have boys who are representing their artworks in the Clancy Prize. There are many, many things that are happening in our college every day. Some teachers will say to me that it is a busy school, and I always correct them, and I say it is a dynamic school. There are so many opportunities, boys, that come your way. Listen intently today to some of those invitations and see how you can get involved. I don't want you to laugh too loudly when you see Mr. Wade trying to press some weights. There is a launch video for the Walkathon, and I really applaud the boys who put that together, along with Miss Fashloon, to get you really engaged in that process. We haven't done it for a while, and we're really hoping to use that occasion where we raise funds for ourselves. We do so many other things. Project Compassion, Delaney Foundation, we're reaching out all of the time. This is the one time in the year where we do some fundraising for ourselves, and the boys will tell you what they've got in store for that. So boys, my message I guess is there are invitations and then there are choices in life, and sometimes we can let those invitations pass by. The Year 11 boys had the invitation to step up for leadership, and many of them have taken that as a choice and really embraced that. So gentlemen, enjoy today's assembly, listen for opportunities, listen as how you can contribute to our beautiful college. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. I would now like to invite Mr. Tester to introduce the Delaney Foundation Reach Out fundraiser and to introduce our special guest, Brother Peter Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonah. For the one who asks always receives. The one who searches always finds. The one who knocks always will have the door open to him. 14 years ago, Mr. Wade might remember this, and many people who are here today remember this. In 2008, I was part of the first group of Patrician student leaders who attended the launch of the Delaney Foundation. It took place at what is now known as the Kudos Bank Arena at Sydney Olympic Park, with thousands of people. The brothers, students from all Patrician schools, generations of young men like you who had benefited from the exceptional teaching, charism and work of the Patrician brothers. There, the Patrician network of 5 colleges accepted the challenge to support the work of the brothers in developing countries, to reach out to those who ask, search and knock, seeking our help. Since then, this same network has been an exceptional contributor to the initiatives of the Delaney Foundation. As has been the case for a number of years now, we're ready once again to join forces and raise funds for the Delaney Reach Out campaign this term. We're blessed to have in our community 2 Delaney Foundation directors, Mr. Wade and Brother Thomas. And also joining us this morning is Brother Peter Ryan, the Superior General or Congregational Leader of the Patrician Brothers. It is with great pleasure, therefore, that I invite Brother Peter to share with us the life-changing work of the Foundation and to officially launch the 2022 Delaney Foundation fundraising appeal here at the College.
Thank you, Mr. Tester, for that introduction. Good morning, gentlemen, here in the hall and also in your various classrooms. I'm honoured to be on campus today and to launch officially this campaign for 2022 for the Delaney Foundation. Very much aware that I'm speaking to 2 very distinct groups. Those of you in Year 7, this is your first invitation to join and be partners with the Delaney Foundation. The rest of your students have been familiar with this campaign each year, and you have been the supporters who have made it possible for the Foundation to make contributions to the flood victims in Lismore, to the campaign to protect vulnerable workers in Australia in anti-slavery campaigns. Enormous opportunities are available if you choose to be partners with this. You will see in the video Brother Paul O'Keefe, who was the leader of the Patricians in Australia and Papua New Guinea. And he will encourage people to get behind this year's campaign, which focuses on supporting the brothers' schools in Kenya. In 2020, I spent most of that year in Kenya, and COVID hit at that time. Brother Paul will mention about the food campaign in the schools each day. I served the children in those schools. I saw the meal that they were so eager to accept. It wouldn't be suitable for our taste. It's called githeri. It's a mixture of corn and beans. The corn is for the carbohydrates, the beans for the protein. And I saw how much it meant to them. And when schools had to close because of the pandemic, children would come to the gate of the brothers' compound hungry because the meal at school was often the best meal of the day for them. School was closed, they didn't have it. So gentlemen, here is your choice to become partners in something much bigger than ourselves and to really make a difference. As the video rolls, enjoy it, be decisive and make your choice about how you will become involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Peter. The Reach Out will make a tangible difference in the lives of the poor and the destitute in mission lands and here in Australia. Please turn your attention to the screen now for a presentation.
Hello there, staff and students of our Patrician-linked schools. Patrician Brothers Fairfield, Patrician Brothers Blacktown, Holy Cross College Ryde, Delaney College Granville, and All Saints Catholic College, Liverpool and Casula. My name is Brother Paul O'Keefe, and I am the current leader of the Brothers in Australia and Papua New Guinea. One of my other roles is President of the Delaney Foundation, and very soon our Delaney Reach Out appeal will be launched for 2022. Last year, a good amount of our money went to our brothers in Kenya, and especially St Patrick's Secondary Boys School in Kabongo and the primary school on the same site. Money also went to Bishop Delaney Secondary School in Eldoret. Once again, Kenya and the Patrician brothers need your help. Kenya is experiencing a rising cost of living, making it difficult for parents to find money to pay school fees. The education curriculum has changed, and this change is posing challenges in terms of buying teaching and learning materials. With no assistance from the Kenyan government, the burden is put back onto the schools, and this is a mammoth task for our brothers. Once again, they have reached out to the Delaney Foundation and will need to continue to do so into the future. Our schools try to provide at least one meal a day for day students, and even this is difficult. Imagine then the challenges of providing food in a boarding school situation. Our brothers in a neighbouring community have a small vegetable garden and a chicken project that supplies some food, but they can't keep up with the demand, and once again they are reaching out to the Delaney Foundation, and we in turn are reaching out to you to help us provide for these students. The Delaney Foundation at its last meeting approved some $10,000 to be sent to Kenya to feed students one meal a day, and we were able to do that because of your generosity last year. So a very big thank you to everyone concerned. In the past, your efforts have been absolutely fantastic, even in the midst of the rising cost of living here in Australia and the many challenges posed by COVID-19. We Patrician brothers, both here and in Kenya, are very grateful for your efforts. Once again, I am asking you to help us raise money so that we can send it to others less fortunate than ourselves. Last year, in fact, the 5 schools together raised some $40,000, and that is an absolutely amazing effort. Good luck in Delaney Reach Out 2022, and know you are making a huge difference in the lives of other people.
So you might ask, how are we going to do it here at Patrician Brothers Fairfield? Well, we're going to have 3 fundraising initiatives planned for term 3. We'll have 2 mufti days with a foldable donation. Now, boys, I'm not sure about you, but Mr. Wade gave me this beautiful analogy. You might not be able to fold a $2 coin unless you're a magician, but yet I'm yet to see a magician who does that as well. So a foldable donation means a $5 note or a $10 or $20, or be as generous as you like. These will be on Wednesday of week 7 and Monday of week 10. And our aim for this first part of the project is to make sure that every student and member of staff brings in a foldable donation of $5 or more. Okay, and if we do a bit of maths, for the maths people out there, we have a $5 donation, 1,000 students and about 100 staff, times 2 events, and we're likely to get the beautiful sum of $11,000. So don't forget, these are the 2 events on Wednesday week 7 and Monday week 10, okay, with a foldable donation. No coins. They're hard to count. The second initiative is a sausage sizzle day, and that will be on Tuesday of week 8. And now for this event, we plan to have also every student and member of staff to purchase a sausage and a drink, and at $5, if you do a bit of maths, we were likely to get to $5,500 for a total target of $16,000 and a half. So, as Brother said, and as Mr. Wade said, we are the legacy of that challenge that people like myself and so many others took 14 years ago. And we are called to be part of that story. So I ask you please to be generous and be involved, because remember, for the one who asks always receives, the one who searches always finds, and the one who knocks will always have the door open. So thank you, and we look forward to this beautiful event.
I'd just like to say thank you to Mr. Tester and Brother Peter Ryan, and I'd now like to invite Mrs. Daho to present World Youth Day initiatives, guest speakers, and an accompanying video. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good morning, staff and students. It is my great privilege to be here with you this morning, either present or virtually, to officially launch to you World Youth Day for 2023. What is World Youth Day? World Youth Day is a worldwide encounter of young people, hundreds of thousands of young people from all around the globe that gather every 3 years in a different country to celebrate their Catholic faith, to meet like-minded young people, to engage in all sorts of liturgies and celebrations, and to, most importantly, develop a personal encounter and a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. It is truly a life-changing event, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to send some students from Patrician Brothers Fairfield to World Youth Day next year. So, as I said, it's held every 3 years in a different country, and World Youth Day next year is being held in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal, and it's halfway through next year, and we are delighted to be taking some Year 9 and 10 students along with us. Please turn your attention to this video, which contains some highlights and a bit of a sneak peek about what people who do choose to come along with us to World Youth Day might experience. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken a few other pictures to give you a bit of a taste of what World Youth Day is like. You can see in this slide, you've got Pope Francis riding in his Pokemobile with some young Catholics, and you can see in the background hundreds and thousands of young Catholics gathering together from all around the globe, encountering their Catholic faith in a really dynamic and in a live way. In this slide, you can see St. John Paul II. He actually was the founder or the initiator of World Youth Day, and it actually was originally one day of these worldwide celebrations, but it's now been extended to an entire week. And my last picture, you can just see the volume of young people gathered from all around the globe celebrating the final Mass. This was in Brazil, World Youth Day a few years ago, and you can see just how lively the crowd is and how beautiful such a large-scale celebration of the Catholic faith is. And before I introduce our special guest speakers, I'll leave you with a little bit of trivia. In 1995, World Youth Day was held in the Philippines, in Manila, and there were over 5 million young people present. the Pope, cardinals, bishops, priests, religious, deacons, and young people present, worshipping together the one God. And that is actually the biggest gathering of people ever in one place recognised by the Guinness World Records. I now have the great privilege of inviting up onto the stage to speak to you, old boy of the college, as Mr. Wade said, a young old boy of the college from the class of 2019, our liturgy prefect, Angelo Verzi, who had the privilege of travelling to Panama for World Youth Day in 2019. So could we please make him welcome?
Good morning, Mr. Wade, Mr. Nadira, staff and students. Wow, it's good to be back. Though I did not miss those exams. For those who don't remember me, my name's Angelo and I used to be a student here at PATS. Around the start of Year 12, I was given the amazing opportunity to attend World Youth Day 2019 in Panama. Essentially, World Youth Day is a Catholic pilgrimage where Catholics all around the world come together to celebrate their faith. But for me, it proved to be so much more. Before attending World Youth Day, I'd say I was somewhat religious. I knew a fair bit about my faith and what it meant to be a Catholic. Huge shout out to the PATS RE department. However, in practice, I tended not to prioritise my faith and my connection with God. I was one of those special occasion mass goers, and I grew a bit doubtful and confused about what I believed in. Although I was aware that everyone is at their own stages in their faith, I couldn't help but feeling a bit guilty about where I was at. But when the opportunity arose to attend World Youth Day, I had to admit, as a huge language and culture nerd, the thought of travelling overseas was definitely what drew me in. However, closening my belief and my faith with God was definitely an added bonus. Especially after attending World ACYF. Prior to the pilgrimage itself, we were allocated groups and attended many group meetups to get to know each other and to prepare ourselves for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We all got along really well, and I still keep in contact with many of my bus group today. By the time we reached the airport, we were all added up on Snapchat and ready to go. The first destination was Mexico. What a place! From the beautiful architecture and stunning churches to the rich food and culture that surrounded us every day. It was truly an amazing country. However, one thing that truly will stick with me for life was the fact that the Mexicans were so hospitable and kind, filled with so much joy, yet they had so little. It was truly inspiring and humbling to see. Now, as someone who rarely attended Mass, I was a bit apprehensive at the thought of participating in Mass every morning, though after the first 2 days, it became my new healthy addiction. I looked forward especially to hearing the homilies by our group priest, Father Josh, who gave me a fresh perspective on my faith. After a week in Mexico, it was time to move on to Panama. The locals in Panama seem to have shared the same amazing hospitality as felt in Mexico, with one particular memory I have of being in a food court eating when a little boy around 5 years of age comes up to me and my group and says, "Bienvenidos a mi país," which means "welcome to my country." Throughout the week, there were many events, concerts, talks and masses that we attended, meeting hundreds of people from all over the world, exchanging stories and gifts with them. It was such a pleasant shock to see that so many young people were all there celebrating their faith. On the final day of World Youth Day, I'd say quite a bittersweet day. We made a 15-kilometre trek to an airfield where we were going to have our camp out, along with millions of others from around the world. The vigil kicked off with a special entrance from the Pope, who I could have sworn looked right at me, followed by Mass, Rosary and Adoration of the Eucharist. Adoration was by far my absolute highlight of the trip. Picture this, an airfield full of millions of people in the darkness. and all you could hear was the warm breeze flowing, with everyone gazing at the Eucharist on the big screen. Millions of people, all going through different struggles, changes, and joys in their life. I'll never forget it. The next morning was the closing ceremony and time to head to a nice little resort in Panama for 3 days of reflection before coming home. Returning from this life-changing trip, I felt more connected than ever to God. But I also realised where I was spiritually before World Youth Day was nothing to be ashamed of, rather a stage of my journey in faith. Now that World Youth Day 2023 is just around the corner, I could not recommend this experience enough. It does not matter where you are in your journey with Christ, whether you are a devout Catholic or simply just questioning your faith. World Youth Day will certainly be an experience you'll never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo. He was a Year 12 student at Pats when he went to World Youth Day, and I really love how you shared that it doesn't really matter what point in your faith journey you're at. You don't have to be that person that is so devoutly Catholic. Of course, you are very welcome. But if you're searching and you're asking questions about your faith and you are open to that encounter with the living God, I really encourage you to put your hand up to at least find out some more information, because this really is a life-changing trip for anybody that does come. I now have the great honour of introducing our second guest speaker, Deacon Ben, soon to be Father Ben Saliba, who took part in the 2016 pilgrimage of World Youth Day in Poland. Please get him welcome.
Thank you and good morning, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Wade, as always, for the kind invitation. I wanted to start with World Youth Day 2008. That was held in Sydney, and I am, or wasn't, someone who was actively involved in the church at that time. I was in the corporate world, and I actually
was a little bit annoyed that all of the streets in Sydney were closed, because in my role as a sales manager, I couldn't freely move around. I thought, what on earth is all this fuss about? I remember waking up one Sunday morning. It was the closing mass in Sydney, and Guy Sebastian was singing that World Youth Day anthem, and I was watching a summary of what had happened throughout the week, and I was immediately touched by a regret. What on earth have I just missed out on? And that then began a slow journey for me of rediscovering my faith. And in 2016, it was my first year in the seminary. I was afforded an opportunity to participate with the young adults and head over to Krakow in Poland. And I was able to get over there, and there's a few images of me in Poland and also at the Holy Land. Now, my beard was nowhere near impressive as it is now at the time, but I have to say that it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I got to meet young people from all over the world. I got to experience another culture, and I got to learn more and more about one of the greatest saints of our generation. The experience in Poland was one of the most amazing, and I might say it was a shot in the arm of adrenaline for the years to come in my seminary life. And it played a very large part of my enthusiasm and love for young people. And so if afforded the opportunity, if it's something that you are interested in, I would highly recommend giving it thought and prayer and asking more about things like this. Because you may not have been a corporate heavy like myself in 2008, annoyed at the traffic and all the road closures, but when you allow Jesus into your heart, he does some remarkable things. So I pray that we all have an openness of heart to participate and encourage one another, because that's what's needed most, I think, in the current day and age that we live in, encouragement. And when you go to a World Youth Day, you cannot help but be inspired and encouraged by all the young men and women that you meet on the journey, people that you will call friends, brothers and sisters in Christ for the rest of your life. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get onto a plane after hearing that. Thank you, Deacon Ben. All right, so just a few little items for me to wrap up with. Who can attend World Youth Day? As I mentioned earlier, it is currently open to our Year 9s and 10s of this year, so you'll be the Year 10s and 11s of next year. For those who do not fit in that category, or maybe you are in that year group, but maybe it's not for you, every single person can still get involved in getting behind our young men and helping them get along to World Youth Day. We are going to need your help. As Mr. Wade said today, our very dynamic and alive school offers many, many opportunities for you. Whether that's an invitation to actually attend World Youth Day and you bravely and courageously say yes, that's great. However, for every single other person here, listening in person or in Zoom, I invite you to get behind our boys, to get behind our whole school initiatives and fundraising initiatives, and to really help us get those boys overseas. It's not a small task, and we really need your help. So with that, I'd like to officially launch our first World Youth Day fundraiser. We are looking for Patrician Brothers Fairfield's best basketball player. Can you get the best shot in? So if you think that is you, if you think that is one of your friends, you are all invited to come down to the basketball courts Wednesday, week 4. I'll send out reminders, don't worry. Bring along a gold coin. Don't bring those to the Delaney Foundation, but I have something you can do with your gold coins. Put them in my bucket and you can participate in a shot in our basketball competition. Deacon Ben, who will be Father Ben at that point, has also put it in his calendar, and hopefully you can see if you can beat him. He's pretty good, and the Winter Sleep Out boys will tell you that he is very good. So come along, Wednesday, week 4, $2 to enter, gold coin, and you will participate in our elimination basketball shootout. Thank you. I will see you on the basketball courts.
Thank you, Bisteha, Angelo, and Deacon Ben. I'd now like to invite Mr. Nadira to the lectern.
Thank you, Ms. Deha, and thank you to all the boys so far in their facilitation of this assembly. Last Friday, Ms. Deha also led our winter sleep out, and congratulations to those men who did come into the hall or who did sleep outside. Raised close to $1,100 for Vinnie's, which is fantastic. Today so far we've heard celebrations of our Catholic identity and who we are here at PATS. I'm going to continue with some awards. These awards are our attendance awards, and what they recognise are students who have 100% attendance in semester 1. Daily school attendance is important for all young people to succeed in education and ensure they don't fall behind socially and developmentally. Many studies have been produced that link attendance to better health outcomes, better employment opportunities, higher incomes, social development and academic success. School participation, and there are many opportunities, but it begins with showing up. School participation is important because it maximises those opportunities and develops important skills, knowledge and values which you can set up for your future learning. I'd like to invite Mr. Wade to distribute these awards, and our as college captain and vice captain will assist with their distribution. I very much like to acknowledge before reading out these names that semester 1 of course was riddled with illness, floods, heavy rain, and in many respects these students are perhaps lucky to have avoided these things rather than full attendance, and I'm sure many of you aspire to. But nonetheless, these awards are symbolic because they represent the aspiration we have for each of you, which is a 100% attendance here at school. From Year 12 is Stephen Bursick and Kevin Tan Trong. There are 5 students from Year 11, David Jacobson, David Lai, Bidrin Moses, Tony Trong, and Felix Vo. There are many ingredients needed in stage 6 success, but the first of which is attendance. So congratulations to those Year 11 and 12 boys. From Year 10, Patrick Wendell Emphasis, Anthony Nguyen, Doi Nguyen, Matthew Nguyen, and Jared Ryan. From Year 9, Edison Doe, and Philip Yako. From Year 8, Stanley Cheen. We also have Stavros Sabri, who's currently representing the college in a futsal competition, so he's not here today. And from our Year 7 cohort, which is by far the most numerous, Carlos Abid, Del Pirio Emmanuel, Hayden Chen, Joseph Isaac, Kingston Leclerc, Donato Lacerda, Edison Ewan, Lewis Pham, Leon Salem, and Fabio Yako. Congratulations to these honourable deeds. Thank you, Mr. Wade. I'd now like to invite Sam Georges to give us an update on our Walkathon and to introduce our Walkathon video. Following that, Javier, who will give us an update on our house points.
Good morning, boys. I'm just here to echo Mr. Wade's words about the upcoming Walkathon, which I'm sure you all know is running. So the date is Friday 19th of August, which is week 5, and the aim is to have a fun community day. The theme for this Walkathon is Hustle for the Muscle, as the funds raised will be going towards an outdoor gym. Each student is asked to contribute to the fundraiser, which will be part of the school's fees, by making a $60 contribution. And a reminder to please ensure that you encourage your parents to give permission via Compass to attend, as this is a compulsory school day. Instructions for this have been emailed by Mr. Nadira, and they are also available on Compass. Enjoy the video.
When I say your name, here. Andriano, here. Is that clear? Tommy?
Yeah.
Andriano?
Yeah.
Peter? Peter?
Yeah, I'm here, miss. I'm here.
Boys, we need to reconnect this community. We need a walkathon. Nah, I got a better idea. I reckon we bring back the walkathon. What do you reckon?
No one's thought of that one yet. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea, mate.
Hold on.
That's a really good idea.
Come in. Good morning, Stuart.
Good morning, Mr. Wade.
Good morning, Javier. How are you?
Sir.
Good
Thanks, sir.
Please have a seat. What brings you to my office?
So, we wanted to discuss with you the upcoming walkathon.
That's good. I've been really thinking about the walkathon. What's your pitch? Give it to me. What are you thinking about?
Well, the boys are planning to raise around $60,000. What do you think we can do with that sum of money?
I have the idea. It's just come to me like a flash. Let's hustle for the muscle.
So what is the Walkathon? The Walkathon is an annual tradition held at our school. Due to COVID, we haven't been able to hold on for a few years, but this year we're bringing it back. The Walkathon is a whole school event where all the students walk to raise money for a particular project within the school. This year, we're raising money to build an outdoor gym in Ferndale.
The event will start and end at school. You will be expected to be at school at the regular time of 8:45 and we'll start walking at 9. We'll return to the school at 2:30 and you'll be dismissed at regular times. We'll be walking past OLR and we'll also make a stop at Fairfield Adventure Park where students can play and have fun on the swings and the flying foxes. We'll also be passing through Carrollwood Park and Hyden Park. Feel free to bring sporting equipment, but don't be stupid or they will be taken from you.
The final destination of the Walkathon is Flinders Slopes, a grassy park-like area where you will have some time to relax. After we reach this destination, we'll make a return trip to school where sausages will be provided for all students. The total walking distance of the trip is around 12.2 kilometers. No bikes or loudspeakers are to be brought on the day, and students are expected to be in full school sport uniform with no books or laptops. Students are also encouraged to bring a water bottle and snacks. Students do not need to bring money like previous walkathons, and they'll be fed with a barbecue lunch at school. Year 12s will be able to dress up for the day in whatever costumes they like, be it appropriate, and it's a community event where everyone participates. Students who walk will earn points for their houses. So let's go Dixon and let's get some points. Get off the bottom of the ladder.
The school has made slight changes to the fundraising process. As opposed to previous years, you are not required to have any sponsors, but rather, the $60 contribution will be taken directly from your school fees. And this year, our funds will be directed towards an outdoor gym, similar to those gyms you would see at your local park.
I've got a couple of Year 7 boys here, just going to ask them a few questions. So what do you think about the walkathon?
Excuse me, what is the walk?
Sounds pretty boring to me.
So we've got a couple of Year 9 boys here. You came for the walkathon?
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a good time. I hope everyone goes there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, what else? What's your favourite part of the walkathon?
Walking.
You boys keen on the walkathon?
Yeah, very keen.
What's your favourite part about it?
Just
what about you?
Walking.
Welcome to Walkathon 2022. See you there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Boys, good morning, sir, Mr. Wade, students. I'm here to talk about the house points. So as you know, we are all part of each student has a house and they can raise points for that house during the year. I'm here to give a point update and to express that the walkathon is a compulsory day and we can all contribute to to our houses by being there. So for now, the points they're putting as today, Dixon is coming last, as usual, 38,500 points. Then it's Freeman, Holding, 43,850 points. Gilroy, 45,200 points. McKillop, 45,500 points. And at the top of the ladder right now is Terry with 51,250 points. Boys, it's not done yet. There's still many opportunities to gain points for your house. And just remember that at the end of the year, the house that wins gets a day. It's either pizza lunch or they might be taken out for an excursion. So I encourage you all to come and gain points during this term and next term. Thank you.
Thank you to Sam and Javier for those presentations. And I gotta say, Gilroy boys, come on, do it for me, we can get 5,000 points. I'd now like to call Mr. Prasad forward to present prizes for the Capture Fairfield competition.
Good morning, Mr. Wade, staff and students. Today, I'm proud to recognise the achievements of our students in the Capture Fairfield Visual Arts and Photography competition. More than 120 students from our college entered Fairfield City Council's Capture Fairfield Visual Arts and Photography competitions this year. The judging panel, which comprised the Mayor, Frank Carbani, councillors and previous winners, made their selection based on the skills, strong visual appeal and response to this year's Love Where You Live, Support, Protect and Explore theme. A number of our students' photos were highly commended by the judges and published online on Fairfield City Council's website. They have also been printed and are on exhibition at Fairfield City Council Administration Centre at Wakeley and Whitlam Library at Cabramatta. Mr. Frank Carbani, Mayor of Fairfield, has invited everyone to visit the exhibitions and get inspired to enter next year. These students' photos were highly commended in the secondary school category and are published in Fairfield City Council's photo booklet. Students from Year 7, Phil Thomas, Finke Flo, Byron Inthavong and Justin Naveen. From Year 9, Miles Milo and Nathan Jurley Otos. From Year 10, Zane Labo, Timmy Lee and George Bazoon. The Capture Fairfield Visual Arts and Photography competition winners were presented with their prizes by Fairfield City Mayor, Mr. Carboni, at the July Council meeting at Fairfield City Council chambers. I am thrilled, and can I ask Mr. Wade to come forward please? I am thrilled to announce that 3 of our students won the prize in the secondary school category. In the secondary visual arts competition, Timmy Lee from Year 10 won the 3rd prize. In the secondary photography category, Nathan Giroulomatos from Year 9 won the 3rd prize. And extremely proud of George Bazoon from Year 10 for winning 1st prize. His prize also includes a $250 cheque to the college from Fairfield City Council, and George is now presenting that to Mr. Wade. Thank you to everyone who entered the competition, and congratulations to our winners. We have enjoyed exploring Fairfield City through your eyes and look forward to next year's submissions. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Prasad and congratulations to those boys. And I'd now like to invite students to stand as Mrs. File will lead the school in the blue and blue, accompanied by Year 11 students. Please add your voices to our school song. Thank you.
Thank you to our music team there and to our music and to our media department for helping to live stream to each of our rooms. Just give each room a couple of moments to please take a seat again and resettle for some announcements. While unorthodox way of celebrating a whole school event, nonetheless, I'll commend you for your participation in our college assembly today, and once again congratulate our award recipients and affirm all those wonderful opportunities that were shared in our assembly today. Next fortnight in week 4, our college assembly will take place on the Tuesday rather than the Wednesday, and during that time we'll be having a practice fire drill and lockdown, which is part of it's a compulsory aspect for our that we make sure that we're safe and be able to practice those procedures. The reason why it's on a Tuesday rather than the Wednesday is to actually accommodate for the Year 12 trial exams. So this is the last week for our Year 12 boys. Make the most of every opportunity in the classroom. as we move forward to our first exam of English on Monday. You have the prayers of the college. The trial exams represent a final summation of what you know and what you can do. It's literally a trial for the HSC. So go with luck. We wish you all the very, very best, and we wish you all the very best with your final preparations as well. It would be amiss if I wasn't taking the opportunity to remind the school of the importance of stewardship. As we've come back in term 3, there's been a few slips regarding stewardship, particularly about littering in the playgrounds, and a reminder of stewardship as well, particularly in the bathrooms. Over the last holidays, we were able to repair the locks in our junior bathrooms, and those bathrooms are now open again. Even this term, there have been small instances of graffiti and not looking after our spaces, so these things need to be challenged. The first aspect of our Patrician way is a reminder of our stewardship. I would like to thank the 99% of students who are doing right in this space. And in reading even your Tell Them From Me survey results, I can hear the frustrations that the actions of one or two can actually impact so many. It's a metaphor for our lives. Your actions might seem small, but they have a ripple effect, first and foremost to our families, and then to our people around us. Those actions represent who you are. Not only here at school, but as we leave school as well. A reminder that we are Patrician men even as we leave school, as we take buses home, and as we take the trains. We've had some reports from our train masters here at Fairfield Station about some of the action of our boys in blue and blue. You're very easy to recognise in your blue and blue. It's a reminder there about our safety on the trains, not holding doors up and being respectful of other patrons from the public. As long as you wear your blue and blue, you represent the college. But even when you're not wearing your blue and blue, like we saw in Angelo today, for every old boy, you're representing those core Patrician things that we stand for. And it starts with the small things that we do in the classroom and on the yard. Once again, speaking about opportunities, we heard opportunities for the Walkathon, for World Youth Day, for the Delaney Reach Out. There are also opportunities that we have each and every day. First and foremost in the classroom. That's where real opportunity exists. And we spoke about the importance of showing up to our classroom every day today as well. Other opportunities present themselves every day. For instance, even today at recess, which looks like will be an extended recess, Miss Deha and the mission team will be leading the rosary. Mindful that it might be an extended recess, it might be a particular invitation to head to the chapel today right after this assembly. There are opportunities like the League Shield, and I thank Mr. Bilton for his leadership in that space. Unfortunately, today's games had to be called off as the ovals are closed, as they are still not fit for purpose with the recent weather. And of course, we're very mindful of our safety of that space. The ovals will remain closed for today. Once again, thank you for your participation in today's assembly. We will be moving off under your teacher's directions after the live stream is over to recess. Following recess, we will move directly to period 3 for a normal school day. Thank you and God bless.